Good afternoon, teacher. What is piston? The piston is a metallic cone-shaped element located inside the cylinder and inside. The engine block is closed at the top, open at the bottom, and is attached to the connecting rod in the middle. How does it work? Returning the key when car is started. An electrical impulse is sent to the starter motor that turns the camshaft, and when it turns, the piston go up and down to compress the air fuel mixture. I did be the spark in Providence. The spark plug creates an explosion the bushes. The piston again to start another cycle of the operation. Piston manufacturing. Types of alloys. Aluminium copper nickel, aluminium silicon. Raw material. Aluminium with 11 degrees silicon. This cutting. Here the top of the piston head is cut off. Oven preheater. Here it is taken to the oven and heat to a temperature of 412 degrees Celsius. Round. Here the piston head is shaped. Machining, segment growers, bolt hold machining, grazed, hotels bottom, and finish. Piston finish. Thank you for attention, teacher.
Good morning, teacher. My name is Brian Finedor Capaz. I will expose to the characteristics, types, and parts of the piston. Characteristics. It is a moving component that are containable by a cylinder or main gas stick by piston rings, an engine to purpose and force from the expanding cylinder and crankshaft rod and the piston rod. In some engine piston also adds a valve covering and uncovering parts to the valve of cylinder. The piston consists in 8 parts. Number 1, piston, tennis piston. Number 2, compression rings. Compression rings consist in 2 rings. Number 3, oil rings consist in 1 ring. Number 4, connecting rod. This is number 5, connecting rod bolt consists in 2 screws. Number 6, piston pin. This is number 7, piston skid. This is number 8, brake. The piston consists in 3 types of difference. Number 1, flat top piston. Number 2, this piston. Number 3, piston. Number 1, flat top piston. Height smiles of surface and enable them to the most surface. This piston of where they are used and are properly terms hold. Number 2, dome piston. This is a surface area available on the top of the piston. Thank you for your attention.
Good afternoon, teacher and classmate. My name is Eduardo Mateo, and I will talk about piston rings. What is a piston ring? A piston ring is a metallic split that is attached to the outer diameter in a piston of an internal combustion engine or steam engine. The main functions of the piston rings in engines are: number 1, sealing the combustion chamber so that there is minimal loss of gases to the crankcase. Number 2, improving heat transferred to the piston, from the piston to the cylinder wall. Number 3, maintaining a proper quantity of the oil between the piston and the cylinder wall. Regulating engine oil consumption by the scrubbing oil from the cylinder walls back to the sump. And most piston rings are made from cast iron or steel. Now, how piston rings work? A piston ring seals the combustion chamber through inherent and applies pressure. Inherent pressure is the internal spring force that expand the piston ring, based into the designs and properties of the materials used. Free piston ring gap is the distance between two ends piston rings in a uncompressed state. A piston rings must provide a predictable and positive radial fit between cylinder walls and running surface of the piston ring for an efficient seal. The fit radial is achieved by the inherent pressure of the piston rings, and the piston rings also maintain a seal on the piston ring lines. Applied pressure is the pressure applied by the combusting gases into the piston rings, causing it to expand. Some piston rings have a chamfered edge that is opposite running surface of the piston rings. This chamfered edge causes the piston rings twist in the piston rings twist when not affected by the combustion gases. The friction produced by the piston rings is approximately 24% of the total mechanical friction for the engine. The piston's designs are a compromise between the minimal friction while achieving good sealing and acceptable lifespan. Thanks for your attention.
And I talk about the function of the piston rings. Function number 1. The function number 1 is the space in the piston in the between cylinder wall. In this case, the piston rings avoid the friction in the piston and the cylinder wall. Why? In the process, the combustion of a compression stroke generate friction or heat in these parts, and the piston rings avoid the friction in two parts. Function number 2. The function number 2 is the oil. The oil is controlling the cutting of the oil layer coming out of the oil ring. In this case, the oil is lubricated in these parts of the cylinder and the parts of the piston. The function number 3. The function number 3 is to seal the combustion chamber and avoid the expansion gases to the crankshaft. And compression rings provide sealing above the piston and they prevent gas linkage from the combustion side. The compression rings are located in the first grooves of the piston. In this case, the rings seal the combustion and act normally. And finally, in this case, the piston rings are bad the combustion not isn't correct. Why? The oil in the piston rings, oil pass to the combustion chamber, and the combustion isn't correct, and the function of the engine is bad. And this is my explain, and thanks for attention. Thank you.